Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining. I'm Jim Carroll, and today we're going to be talking about the Advanced Solutions third-party warehouse tool. So let me collapse my GoToMeeting bar. There we go, and we'll wait about another 30 seconds before we begin. So what I can do is we've got just a couple of slides that talk about Advanced Solutions and our line list. And we develop products for the manufacturing distribution market, like a manufacturing product and an advanced kitting product, a product that integrates with TaxJar. And we also have solutions in the finance area for advanced settlement and bringing requisitions to accounting. Typically, these products are always 100% written in Acumatica, and they're designed to provide competitive advantage, either in terms of expanding the Acumatica offering or providing a solution that's less expensive than otherwise would be. And that's the case with our third-party warehouse management tool. It's about half the cost of solutions from third-party integrators like Jitterbit and Celigo that would do business system to business system integration, or in this case, linking Acumatica to the warehouse management software that is employed at third-party logistics or third-party warehouses that Acumatica users, distributors, and manufacturers use to provide fulfillment services. So rather than stocking goods at the Acumatica or the warehouse that's owned and operated by the Acumatica user, they use a third-party warehouse to do that. And what our tool does is, on the sell side, it allows the order to come in from Acumatica, depicted here in the green, and then it's got a switch. So you might have a warehouse in Europe, another one in Canada, and one in the US, and we figure that out, and we send the shipping or the buying information to the warehouse, and the warehouse acts as if it's a warehouse in Acumatica. And once it's fulfilled, it comes back and provides the tracking number and the invoice update, and Acumatica does the debits and credits. So we do that on the sell side. We also do the same thing on the buy side, meaning from Acumatica, you can send an order to your vendor, and the vendor will then ship the information to the third-party warehouse, and then the third-party warehouse will update the inventory system within Acumatica. This little sheet here, same thing with a website. If you're using the e-commerce connector for, say, Shopify or BigCommerce, order comes in the blue to Acumatica, Acumatica in the green sends to the warehouse in red. And this is truly a virtual distributor or a manufacturer using a warehouse scenario. But we find this about 10% of the market. So let's talk about a new customer. Often a new customer with a website will utilize the website, will communicate with the warehouse management system. And then the accounting system is updated. The problem with this scenario is there's no inventory control. With the Acumatica solution, whether the order is sourced from the website or directly into Acumatica, if you follow the strings of 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the right side, what we see is that the flow goes from Acumatica to the warehouse software back to Acumatica, updating inventory, so then the website knows what's available. Completely 100% built in Acumatica. We're going to go to a demo here in a moment. So all the screens are Acumatica, etc. I bring this up because how do you link to the warehouse management system? And essentially, it's just mapping. It's a mapping job where the warehouse management system, we get their API. It could be High Jump or Savant or Edwards Warehouse, or Oracle's got a cloud warehousing system. We just installed one of those. And then we say whether or not that information is germane. So let me stop right there and get into the code. So this is the system, and we have a plugin within Acumatica. And the plugin allows us, in the example I showed you, you can have multiple third-party warehouse type products. But once they're done, we provide the path to the warehouse management software, their endpoints, different factors, whether it's via XML or other transaction protocols, to provide Acumatica to warehouse management software compatibility. The next thing we do is, within the warehouse management system, they use terminology for 1-day air or 2-day standard truck, etc. So we do the mapping so that the delivery service that's promised either in the website or in Acumatica itself lines up with the nomenclature that's used by the warehouse management software at the third-party logistics company. So then an order comes in. When the order comes in, we've set up this communication protocol, and unlike Acumatica, where once you get the order, the next activity in the flow is confirm shipment, with our system, it's send the fulfillment request. It's the same information. Who bought what in what quantity and when do they require it? Well, that fulfillment request data packet is sent off to the third-party warehouse, and we initially get an acknowledgement that the data has been received. So this allows you to do things like use tiles and whatnot to be ensured that the order that was sent to the warehouse system was in fact receipted by the warehouse management system. Again, this whole concept that the 3PL will be just like a warehouse in Acumatica. So you can flow and follow the data as it goes. Then once the system comes back, we actually have an air checking package. So in this case, it might be a little bit hard to read, but the order was not confirmed. So we ping the warehouse system, and there's been an issue with the transmission. We've got a behind the scenes number to track all of that, giving you this so that you know that there's a level of sophistication to the code in terms of ensuring the proper transmission of the data. When the order itself is fulfilled, you'll get a confirmation back from the software package that from the third party, that giving a reference number that says, yes, we've received it, and yes, we've responded. And upon response, you'll get a tracking number. But first, I should mention that not only do we track model numbers, but if the product itself includes a serial number because the distributor or the manufacturer wants to track the exact end item shipped, we have the facility to do that, as long, of course, as the warehouse management system has got the facility for that serialized number. But it's shipped, then we know we've got a tracking number. The tracking number goes back in to the ship complete area within Acumatica. If you've got the e-commerce connector, that tracking number can go back up to the website. With notification technology, you can send a little email to the customer. Thank you for your order. We acknowledge it got shipped, what's today, the 1st of August at 10 o'clock, and your tracking number is so forth and so forth. And from there, we go on and finish the transition. So that is the overall flow on the sell side. It's equivalent on the buy side in terms of the air tracking and the confirmation of the shipments and what was receipted and the like. You've got different alternatives in terms of tracking the data, because if a product gets shipped from, say, overseas and you want to put it into an in-transit warehouse and instead of a receipt at the warehouse, do a transfer from the in-transit warehouse into the warehouse, we can accommodate that. So that's the presentation overall. I'll leave that up, and I'm ready to take any questions. If you have any, I guess the way to go on that is to type them in. And I'm looking now at the questions. Oh, here we go. Questions, there we go. Any questions in the group? Overall, at a M1, the price of our product is around $3,500, and then that includes a single warehouse. If you've got multiple warehouses, then each additional plugin is $500. If you're in the L series or the X series, there's also accelerators in terms of the price, so that larger companies pay more for the product. And we'll be happy to make this recording for you and send it to you, and that will happen as a result of the GoToWebinar technology that we use. And if you have any questions, please call the 877-590-4ERP. So, how is this different from Starship? Someone asked. Starship essentially my understanding of Starship is that it will do rate shopping for you and use either a carrier like UPS or some other parcel, or punch out to a 3PL service. In that case, you're using Acumatica itself as the warehouse, and Starship is punching out to do the delivery service. In this case, you're using a third-party warehouse to do the fulfillment. So you don't, the owner of Acumatica, who's the virtual distributor versus it, does not do any warehousing themselves. They don't manage inventory. They pay a third-party company, a 3PL, to manage that inventory. And therefore, you need a means of having the Acumatica ERP to communicate to the third party's warehouse management software system back and forth with air checking. And that's what our tool does. Our tool also, as a plugin, interacts with ShipStation. So we have an interface with ShipStation, and in that case, you can either use ShipStation at your facility or have the third-party warehouse utilize the Acumatica owner's ShipStation. And in that case, the fulfillment packet that says ship this product to customer John Smith or Jane Doe at 123 Main Street would come in the form of a notification to the 3PL. And then the 3PL could log in to the ShipStation on behalf of the Acumatica user, ship the product, and then through our tool, that shipment would be updated. So that's how it works. Could this be used by the 3PL itself? Not really. It's not designed to do that per se, because we have a one-to-many relationship from Acumatica to multiple third-party warehouses using different warehouse management software packages. A 3PL typically is serving multiple companies using various different ERPs. So from their standpoint, they're one-to-many in the opposite direction. So you need a warehouse management software package, and in that case, they've got, customer 1, customer 2, customer 3, customer 4, etc. In this case, in my example, customer 4 might be Acme Inc., who uses Acumatica, and with our third-party warehouse integration, Acumatica can speak to their warehouse system. And so when it comes in, it says, oh, the warehouse management software says, oh, this is company number 4. Oh, and I have to ship to Jane Doe at 123 Main Street, and it knows the communication protocol to accept that information and then send it back to Acumatica. Any other questions? Those are good questions. Okay, so I think that will be it then. Typically, we like to get these seminars done in 15 to 30 minutes. Next month, if memory serves me right, we're actually going to present the ShipStation solution. So we will be doing that. And so please join us on our next webinar, which will be 4 weeks hence, typically around this time. And we'll show you all the neat stuff with ShipStation. And we're actually going to do a much more live demo this time instead of the recordings. Thanks for the kind words, Toon. And thank you all very much for attending this webinar.